G'day and welcome to another edition of the Aussie Ideas Man. So many more to do since that long-winded live stream. At this stage, I'm looking forward to what the cretin does when it comes to that truck from APTERA following them to in and out and back and all the shenanigans that went on with that. What's he going to do? Will he cover it? Or will he make light of it? Anyhow, this one is his second video on the live stream. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how many parts I need to make of this one.
Okay, so then we're
Forgot to say thank you to the Cretin and AOC, APTERA Owners Club, for the source material.
going to hear from Reid about the solar.
I found them.
Yeah.
Oh, people are asking how are the boards fastened to the thing? They're screwed in, right?
Yeah, they're screwed in.
Yeah, this thing just doesn't have all the holes in it.
Okay, so that's what we were, I theorized that maybe they were just going to glue them in because I didn't see any screw holes in the bank. And so Chris says, yes, this one doesn't have them. But I mean, the mold's already done, so you can't put them in now. I don't know how that works.
Like on top of the HVAC, there's 3 screw holes, so it's designed to go on top of the HVAC and just screw into to posts that are.
So like in the bead pillar, you can see where the holes will go. This bank doesn't have all the holes.
Okay, so this is what I wonder. I'm like, are they going to drill these holes? Because that's possible, but that's an extra step. And that's going to be a lot of drilling when they manufacture this thing. Or maybe they have like self-drilling screws that just like drill as they screw in. Maybe that's the other way to do it. But they're just going to screw it in here. Okay, that makes more sense.
So that's a great question.
Yep.
All right, it's Reid.
Hi.
Hey, Reid.
Hi.
Want to go over here and look at our solar panel? So, Reid is
the solar mechanical lead for APTERA.
Amazing solar engineer. You want to just talk about why APTERA Solar is so unique in a high-level way?
Absolutely. So when we initially went out to make the vehicle and decided to put solar on it, we kind of looked out at the market and said, is there anybody out there that can make solar for a vehicle? Unfortunately, at the time, there was nobody who could fit our requirements. So kind of our requirements are we have a super aerodynamic shape. We need a set of solar panels that can fit in the shape. We have cells facing in different directions, getting different amounts of lights at different times. So we needed something that could break the panels up into basically smaller panels so that we can independently control and get power from them at different times. Because one of the things is that if you have a string of cells or cells that are all just electrically connected, they really like to be under the same lighting conditions. They don't like, one common issue in the kind of solar space is, if you have a leaf fall on one of your cells, what that can do is kind of bottleneck the rest of the panel. So we've done a lot of work to try to isolate different areas of the panels, try to break them up into smaller panels. And additionally, we didn't have charge controllers that were designed for our specific architecture, designed to go on.
I'll stop it here because this solar stuff, if you read all the comments, you'll get a lot of information from experts on solar that will tell you that all of this stuff is old hat. It's really old technology. They don't need to invent something that allows cells that aren't covered by a leaf to work at 100% efficiency. It's already been done. What APTERA like to do is brag about everything when everything is already done by people before them. And this is just another case. If they looked out at the market, they would find that they can buy parts that will prevent cells from losing power just because one is in a little bit of shade. They can buy it all off the shelf.
On a vehicle and designed to work on, just mobile applications. So there's a lot of differences that can kind of come. As you can imagine, there's more rapidly changing conditions, think like driving under a bridge or driving under a tree.
People asking how many strings are there?
We have 7 strings.
7 strings.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 7 different strings on the vehicle. What that does is kind of breaks them into zones between panels. So our hood is 1 string. We may, as we continue testing, see if we can break it up more, but that's not currently the plan.
So this is something that I remember talking to one of the solar firmware engineers back at uh, the expo where they showed the gamma for the first time, and they talked about that problem of like where you're driving down the road and there's trees going overhead, and that residential solar and other solar applications are not equipped to deal with that rapid changing light and shade issue. So they had to design a different solar charge controller than used for like residential or stationary applications. So looks like they figured that out, and that part's done. And so
Yeah, we've got 7 strings.
Reid
One
is
in the
explaining
hood,
this.
one is on our dash. We have 2 on our roof, and then we have 3. Sorry, 3 on our hatch.
You're good. He's been busy working today.
Yeah. So those are the different zones.
Right.
We break them into different strings. And one unique thing about our solar charge controllers, it can handle, it can independently control all 7 of those zones at the same time on the same board. So a lot of times what you'll see on a building or on, say, a rooftop is you'll have one large charge controller or one charge controller per set of panels. So for us, we went the opposite direction. So things like our roof and hatch have multiple control inputs per panel instead of having, a group of 10 panels that are all controlled at the same time. And that helps a lot with curvature, with the shading effect, and with kind of maximizing the power that we get out of these curved panels.
Cool. People are asking if the dash panels will have like some anti-reflective coating.
They will, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was something that we talked about when we saw the picture in the Twitter feed about the dash panels. They look real glossy, and I guess that gloss is actually a little protective film they put over it while they're waiting to put it on. So when you take that off, there's an anti-reflective thing. So we haven't seen the anti-reflective version, but clearly they have thought of it.
Yeah.
I figured people are asking. I mean, the exterior panels will obviously be super shiny because they're
Yes,
they're
they'll be
glass.
shiny. We've looked into, there's a lot of anti-reflective coatings that we could apply this. There's some durability questions when it comes to the outside of your vehicle.
Right.
As well as the type of glass we're using. There's kind of a cost trade-off there as well. So durability and cost trade-off. So you can't have anti-reflective. As you can imagine, putting an anti-reflective coating on something like your glasses those are lots of small objects. There's a lot of machines purpose-built to handle small pieces of glass and adding anti-reflective coatings to those. But when you scale up to the size of body panels on a vehicle, it gets a lot more expensive. So we're doing a lot of trade-offs there. We found it just wasn't worth it price-wise, like cost per watt, basically.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't make sense because highly reflective vehicles are a danger to other people driving around. They don't want the sun in their eyes bouncing off vehicles willy-nilly as they're driving along. This could cause very serious accidents and even death. It seems making the world a better place wasn't in their mantra when it came to saving money on the reflective surface of the vehicle. Bye for now. Stay safe.